I'm Max Takis. I graduated here the class of 2007, and then I went to Kenyatta College for 2 years, transferred to SF State, and actually just graduated this last spring, class of 2011. Yeah, so that's cool.
In what area?
I got my bachelor's in English, with my focus being postmodern literature.
So what's next?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I suppose there's always the thought of going back to teaching, but that's going back to school. That's money that I'm trying to amass right now. So right now it's kind of up in the air.
Okay.
At Kenyatta, I got an AA in theater as well.
Okay.
So I've actually been acting around the South Bay for about 1.5 years now. So that's getting a little bit of income. So we'll see how that goes.
So now you went to Kenyatta, and then you went to San Francisco State? Okay. And why did you choose those schools?
They were local. I definitely, in terms of living at home was a lot cheaper, and commuting was quite a bit easier for my schedule. I had to work at the same time. So at Kenyatta, they had a coffee shop on campus, so that was really nice. And then I got a job at a coffee shop in San Carlos.
Wow.
So yeah, it was basically just work part-time, go from there to school, and then come home.
So you paid your way all the way through school?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And working part-time,
quite a bit
but
as well,
still a full-time student?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And how did you like Kenyatta? How was that experience?
It was great. It really was. There's a lot to be said, I think, for taking a little bit of time to figure out what direction I wanted to take.
Yeah.
There was definitely a lot of pressure coming out of high school to just know, and I definitely wasn't. I wasn't on the same page on that. So being able to go to Kenyatta and actually kind of experiment with a bunch of different classes that would have cost a lot more at a 4-year college. So the experimenting of taking something I might not want to take forever.
You kind of felt the freedom to do
exactly. That. It was only a semester, and it was only about $70. So I mean, that was a freedom that I don't think I would have gotten elsewhere. And being as unsure as I was, it really helped out. Yeah.
Now, did you get involved in their guaranteed transfer program as well?
That's how I got. Yeah, that's how I was able to the transfer agreements to get to.
And so you were accepted into San Francisco State if you fulfilled those certain requirements.
Exactly.
So you knew you had an in.
Yeah, no. So it was a big weight off my shoulders coming out of that.
And then why San Francisco State? Again, because it was local?
Because of the commute. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And their program was something I was interested in as well.
Okay.
Once I figured out that I wanted to go into the English department.
And then what was the jump from community college to state like?
It was quite a bit different.
Quite a bit different in what ways?
The community college it's very much, it's almost more diverse. There's ages across the board.
Yeah,
taking night classes, you especially see that because people coming from work from their kids and then taking classes. And then at the state, it was pretty much my age and a little younger and a little older. So it wasn't quite as vast. It was an interesting place to be. Kenyatta was definitely kind of a completely different environment in terms of who you take classes with, who you're relating with, and kind of, I know the schedules of trying to meet up with study groups and things were like, when can I have my kids babysat and things like that, which you didn't encounter at state at all. Yeah.
What about the workload when you went from Kenyatta or from high school to Kenyatta and then to state? Did you see all of a sudden it was incrementally getting? It was
definitely there was more at Kenyatta, and then it was quite a bit more at state. There was a lot of more work, but it didn't feel as heavy because it was something I was interested in. That was the direction I wanted to take. So it was stuff I wanted to do.
And so by the time you got to state, you really knew what you were.
Exactly. I was dedicating a lot more time to school than I was in high school and at Kenyatta, but it didn't feel like I was going out of my way to do it.
And that's because you loved the subject.
Exactly, because I found something I wanted to do. Right. Exactly. Whereas at Kenyatta, it was, again,
general ed.
And general ed, exactly, kind of knocked that stuff out, which was all right.
What do you like best about college?
The freedom of it. I mean, it's still schoolwork. It's still kind of the same stuff amped up a bit, but you're doing it because you want to be there, and there's always the option of not doing it, but you know that that's not really what you want, So it's an interesting dynamic that's kind of a little bit more of the same, even a little more intense, but you're more involved in it because it's something you want to do.